How are we doing, guys? All Leeds TV, Leeds 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and this is a match review of the game. So we'll start straight away with the team selection. So we went back to a 4-1-4-1 today, which we've used for the vast majority of the season so far. So we went with Bailey Peacock-Farrell in goal, Luke Ayling, Pontus Jansson, Liam Cooper, and Stuart Dallas surprisingly at left back. Calvin Phillips as normal in the holding midfield role, Pablo on the right, Alioski on the left, and Matthias Klick and Adam Forshaw came in as the centre midfielders. ROOFE was the lone striker, so that was the team we went with. And in the first half, I was disappointed with the first half performance, in all honesty. I just don't think we were anywhere near at our best. You know, we had a lot of the ball, we were trying to get ourselves into dangerous areas, we were trying to play out the back, but there was not enough tempo, there wasn't enough pace, there wasn't enough movement. You know, all the things you expect of a Marcelo Bielsa team, or what we've seen for much of the season so far. You know, the last couple of weeks, you know, it has been a bit more of a struggle getting the ball out of the back. You know, finding people in the best positions, getting people in dangerous positions. You know, people like Pablo Hernandez, people like Alioski. And in the first half, we really struggled to do that. You know, there wasn't enough pace, tempo. It was just everything was just a little bit too sideways, backwards, passing, and it was just disappointing, really, seeing that. And then we conceded the goal as well. Yeah, the goal's really disappointing. You know, there's so many. It's so unavoidable. You know, the clearance of Alioski, he probably shouldn't be even trying to clear the ball there. You know, he's got 3 or 4 people in front of him. The chances of that ball going to the other side, you know, going into the other half of the pitch is pretty minimal, really. You know, should just be putting out for a throw-in for me. Maybe be a little bit too critical. It was unlucky the way it cannoned back out for a corner, and then we need to defend the corner better. That's what's disappointing most of all, really, is the way we defend the corner. You know, the guy's got a free header again. And then what really creates the goal is a little run off Lewis Grabban, just a little sideways run across Bailey Peacock-Farrell. And I don't think he actually touches it, Lewis Grabban, but it's what makes the goal. And no one's followed Lewis Grabban either. That goal could be stopped at that point, really. You know, it's disappointing from that point of view. It's a really disappointing goal to concede, but we just didn't quite produce a good enough first half performance for me. You know, I don't think we were terrible by any means. I've certainly seen us play worse over the last couple of weeks, but yeah, we just didn't quite create enough. You know, we had a little half chance for ROOFE, Adam Forshaw had an effort from distance, and Pablo Hernandez forced a pretty routine save. And all in all, it wasn't a great first half performance, but second half I thought we were excellent, really. Second half, you know, I think it was everything. It was a complete polar opposite to the first half, really. You know, everything was so different. You know, with so much energy. You know, the defensive line was playing high. You know, we were winning the ball high, a lot of counter pressing. You know, the wingers were starting to get involved a little bit more. We made a key change, I felt. You know, obviously Luke Ayling came off in the first half. I hope that it's not a serious injury, but it did not look good at the time, which meant Tom Pearce came on. But I thought it was a little bit harsh on Tom Pearce to take Tom Pearce off for Samuel Saïv and then for Jack Clark. Trying to think who else came off. It was Tom Pearce and Calvin Phillips both came off to allow Jack Clark and Samuel Saïv to come on. I thought we looked a lot more creative when Jack Clark came on. He made a real difference out wide. He went to the right hand side, but I was going to Tom Pearce. I thought it was a little bit harsh taking Tom Pearce off rather than Alioski, but maybe, yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, second half performance, winning the ball high, defensive line playing high, so we were stopping counter attacks very early on, and Forest couldn't get out of their own half for much of that second half, and I thought we had the ball in some really dangerous areas. Just that final pass at times let us down a little bit. You know, I think maybe Pablo Hernandez had a really disappointing performance. By Pablo's standards, I thought it was probably one of his poorest games for in a long, long time. Alioski also had a pretty disappointing performance, especially when he was playing as a winger. But yeah, I think we've got to start creating more clear-cut chances. I think to win football matches, you have to create clear-cut chances. You know, you can't just rely on set pieces, efforts from distance, deflections, own goals, decisions going for you. You know, you have to create clear-cut chances at the end of the day, and that's something over the season we've done really well. But last couple of weeks, you know, it's sort of dried up a little bit. We've not been quite able to create as much. Perhaps more probably a case of the team sitting back against us. But we've got to find a way around that now, and I think the second half we did much better in that sense. You know, I think Matthias Klick, Adam Forshaw started to really control the midfield in that second half. You know, they were winning the ball ridiculously high up the pitch, and it was creating problems all the time for Forest. I mean, you look at the midfield two they were up against, Guedjura and Colback, two really experienced players at this level, and they played at higher levels as well. Both had really good careers. So it's really is credit to both those two players that they played so well in that midfield and started to really dominate the midfield. But yeah, and then the goal we get is the hand of ROOFE. It's lucky, look, we get a decision that goes our way for once. But yeah, we've got to take that at the end of the day. We probably did deserve a point overall, but we got fortunate how we've got that point at the end of the day. But where do we go from here? I think we've got to find how we break down these teams that go a little bit more defensive against us, especially when they go ahead. You look at Middlesbrough, you look at Birmingham, you look at Forest today. We haven't created enough clear-cut chances in those games, and we've got to find a way around that. And for me, it's possibly reverting to a 3-3-1-3. I can understand the decision by Marcelo to go with a 4-1-4-1. He always wants one more centre back than the other team as striker. Forest went with one up front with Lewis Grabban, so we naturally went with a back four. But I think with a 3-3-1-3, it's a little bit more fluid in an attacking sense. You'd have like Pablo Hernandez, Kemal ROOFE playing a little bit higher up, and a little bit more in support of each other. And you'd have Matthias Klick and Alan Forshaw, Sam Messiah, just playing behind them and trying to feed the balls through to him. Because what the problem is when you do play 4-1-4-1 against Forest or teams like that, when Matthias Klick's picking up the ball, he's trying to feed the ball. But Pablo Hernandez isn't advanced enough, I don't think, in the 4-1-4-1. Neither is Alioski, neither is Jack Harrison, anyone who's been trying to play out there. So for me, I think a 3-3-1-3 is a little bit more fluid in a game like that. Whether it happens, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But for me, my man of the match today, there's a couple of contenders for me. From minute 1 to minute 90, I thought Alan Forshaw was absolutely outstanding once again. I thought he really controlled the midfield second half. He won so many sort of like second balls, and yeah, I thought he was just absolutely awesome. He's always trying to drive us forward. He was by far our best player in that first half. Second half, he just constantly trying to drive forward, being really positive with the ball. He was spraying passes. He was doing absolutely everything he wanted to do. He was playing that Phillips role when Phillips came off, and I thought he performed so well on the day. Alan Forshaw, I thought it was a terrific performance of him, and he'd be the man of the match by some distance. Make sure you check out Joe's review of the game and Conor's review of the game and all the recent videos. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've been Oscar Marriott. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you later.